everybody, it's the interview queen Alicia Atout here, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you back to interview round two with Shane Told from Silverstein. Hello.
Hi, how you been?
Doing all right, hanging in there. How are you? How are you over there?
Yeah, I've been hanging in there too. It's since we spoke, there's been a few events in the world.
A little bit of
Maybe
change.
you've heard of. So yeah, yeah, I've been dealing with that as we all have. But I'm always I'm a positive kind of dude, so you know, I won't complain.
I mean, you did mention you're a positive kind of dude there, but another thing that you're known as is an emo legend, which is very true. Don't get me wrong, but I was curious, where did that actually come from? Was that kind of given to you? Did you just decide to throw that out in there?
No, it was, oh man, and now his name escapes me. There's this YouTube guy called Anthony. I forget his last name. Super nice guy, and he does these like explorative videos into certain things.
Okay.
And he did this one where he found out all about like emo, because I guess he was, an emo kid growing up or whatever. So I don't remember who he had. Oh, it was he had me, he had Spencer from Under Oath, and I think Matt Good from First to Last.
Okay.
And he, in the video, like, he's huge on YouTube, and in the video he called me an emo legend. So I said, all right, I can run with that.
Right.
So I threw it up in the Instagram profile whenever that was. And I mean, how often do you really change your Instagram profile? Right. So
Right.
it's still there.
No, I remember when I first got into the world of wrestling, and I'm like, oh damn, I need like a moniker. And then some fans started kind of just randomly hashtagging interview queen. I was like, hey, sounds weird when you say it yourself, but if other people are saying it first, I'm coining it and taking that. So yeah, here we are.
Exactly. Well, it's true. I mean, you're the best.
I
You're
try.
the best.
I do try. Thank you.
There you
Now,
go.
something
Still
I
killing it.
thank you. Something I did want to bring up that you actually posted about, but I wanted to ask you about is did you really try to retweet an email?
That is true.
Oh my gosh.
And it actually happened on my 40th birthday, which is crazy. Like all the boomer jokes coming in full effect, you know, um, into my email, and I literally, yeah, I got my apps mixed up for a second, and I was looking for the retweet button on a funny email I got. Yeah, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. No, I pride myself on being pretty with it, with most of the stuff. Especially for someone who grew up when I grew up, I guess. But no, that happened. That's true.
I saw it when I was scrolling through. Like this was ages ago, and I just remember going back
Yeah.
through your feed today. Like I need to ask him about that because I cracked up so hard when that came up the first time. I was like, that must have been a really funny or interesting email to try to actually retweet the thing.
Yeah. Well, like it's funny though. Sometimes you get like Twitter will send you an email about a tweet you may have missed or something.
Right.
It was like one of those kinds of things. So then I got my apps mixed up.
Right. I mean, that's a decent excuse though. Like if it was actually from Twitter and everything, I get the confusion. It's a good thing to fall back
I
on.
I'm gonna stick with that story.
Do
That
it.
might not be completely true. I can't recall, but that's a great excuse, so I'm gonna go with that one.
Just own it. Now, all pandemic craziness aside, of course, the band right now must be feeling really, really good because you have a new single out called Bankrupt. And as time goes on being a band, you kind of find it easier or more difficult writing good tunes because this one is yet another really awesome banger.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we're really happy with the song, and it's a product of kind of the frustration we've had, not just as a band, but just as human beings, going through what we've all gone through over the past year, seeing, people, the corporate people and rich people kind of capitalize on it. There's a lot of anger there, and this is a song we thought we should release first, to kind of get that off our chests a little bit. And also it's a little bit different than the last record, which, the last record was a little bit more popular. There was a little bit less screaming on it. We experimented with a few different sounds, and this time we kind of wanted to go a little more full bore and do something, you know, that's up there with some of the heaviest, you know, music we've ever made. Um, so yeah, and to answer your question about whether it gets easier or whether it gets harder, for me, it 100% gets harder. You know, like you pick up a guitar some days and you're like, oh yeah, this is a cool riff, and then you're like, it kind of sounds like this other riff, or
Right.
like I've even stopped myself. Like I've been writing lyrics and I've come up with a line, and I'll have to Google
Your own
Silverstein
lyrics.
and the lyric to see if I've used that lyric before. Because I mean, we've got what, we're going to be in 9 albums or something of, you know,
A
of music,
big
and
discography.
like it's so it doesn't get easier. You have to put in more work and more time. You know, this song, we went to the studio, Jukasa, really cool studio down in the Hamilton area, and we spent a full 4 days tracking just this song, and that's it. So, you know, that's the kind of work and time you have to put in, I think, as your band gets older. At least that's what we found.
And it's fun because to go along with that new track and the single, you did feature a really rad performance of you guys in a brand new music video people can check out. And you're all in the same
Yeah.
room together. And I know that the band has been writing throughout lockdown, but have you been able to kind of see each other frequently, or was that video a bit of a full band reunion for you guys?
Yeah, not frequently. You know, I live in Windsor now, so
Okay.
I've been out here for a couple of years. So I've been a little bit disconnected from the guys who are all still in the, you know, GTA, and yeah, I mean, it's really great when we get a chance to get together, whether it was for that or for the Out of This World virtual concert series that we did in February, where we did like, you know, 3 sets. You know, we've been able to do it sporadically, which has been nice because, you know, we've basically like been a full-time band, not really stopping since 2003.
Yeah,
So like 18 straight years of
that's
this. So
crazy.
yeah, man, I got to see my dudes, and the video was really fun. I'm glad you brought it up because I think it's probably not maybe not just our best video, but I think it makes the song better, or at least showcases the song's energy. Whereas a lot of times I find with music videos, sometimes like there's a storyline or like something that sort of like you start distracting away from the actual music you're listening to, which is
Definitely.
the point of the music video. So the fact that this music video really enhances the song is cool, and it has this energy and explosions and fire and all that good old rock and roll stuff, you know?
No, you're
It's
definitely
like a kiss,
right.
it's like a Kiss video without the makeup, you
Ah,
know?
yes, my favorite of all time. No, definitely. I mean, there's nothing else to focus on when it's literally the band members playing
Yeah.
the song, you know, you have no choice, which is great. So I definitely think you guys did an awesome, awesome job with it. And it's
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Sorry I cut you off, but
no, go
no,
ahead.
it was important actually that we didn't have some kind of storyline that like had like, you know, there's like a couple ways you can make a music video, right? You can do like storyline right on the nose, which sometimes seems kind of cheesy, or you can be like, well, there's like this analogy into what we're saying about a different thing. And we were like, let's just let the song and let the lyrics speak for themselves. We don't need to put another spin on it. Let's just get up there and rock, and you know, and that's what we did.
Definitely. And something that kind of always goes hand in hand with releases like that happens to be touring. And I know before we pressed the record button, we were kind of talking about how it's been driving us crazy not being able to travel and kind of get out there again. So, you know, I mean, last year you, of course, released A Beautiful Place to Drown. And has it been a little strange for you not being able to hit the road after the new record dropped? Now you're dropping new music this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was. We probably released that album at the worst time in musical history. Like it's got to be March 6th. That album came out March 6th, 2020. We played New York City on release date, and like sure there were the rumbles of the coronavirus, and you know we'd heard about it, and but at like the day that record came out, we were totally planning on finishing our 20th anniversary tour, which, new record out, all this stuff happening. And then whatever it was, 5 days later, everything gets shut down. And no one's like thinking about, oh, hey, have you checked out this sick new record? Everyone's like,
alert, alert.
Yeah, stocking up on cans of food and toilet paper. And,
yeah,
like it was crazy. It was a horrible time to release a record. So in some ways it was really disappointing because we really feel great about that record and some of our best material ever is on that thing. So the fact that we had to go home, couldn't promote it, couldn't, tour it at all really sucked. And then of course there's all the other, mental health aspects and just the darkness that I think so many people, including myself, went through, and the fear of everything, happening or not happening. It was a scary time. So the fact that now, like a year later, I can look back at it and be like, okay, we kind of overreacted. Things weren't so bad. We learned a lot of new skills over the past year. We wrote a really great song and released it. And, I think we've all learned a lot about ourselves too, in some ways. So, trying to see it, the big picture, and just take it as well as we can.
I mean, on the brighter side, the good news is that there happens to be an upcoming tour that has been announced. So, yeah. I mean, how psyched are you to actually finally be back on the road and be able to perform properly with everything we just kind of went through? Like, are there nerves to be back? Because you're literally on the road all of the time. I remember seeing you guys at so many different shows, festivals. Like, it was ridiculous. I'd see you everywhere.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I think like there was a weird kind of duality in my brain going on, like kind of when it all went away. And then, like we didn't know when it was going to come back. Like the dates in March of 2020 that we, canceled and we went home, I think we rescheduled them originally for like August of 2020, thinking like, oh, we'll be fine by then. Right. All we have to do is stay in our houses for 2 weeks and this thing will be gone.
Yeah.
And, so that was the first, reschedule, and then it's gotten pushed back and pushed back and pushed back to where the tour we're resuming in the US and Canada in November is the same tour. It's like the tickets, people have been hanging onto their tickets for a year and a half, which, I mean, we're really sorry about, but we're also really thankful that people are cool with doing that and everything. Oh, my car's beeping. Sorry.
It's fine.
Okay, there it stops.
As long as it doesn't explode, we're good.
No, yeah, that's been in the news lately. No, I think, but I've lost my train of thought completely. But no, I think like, the fact that we've been off for touring for so long, it's been maybe a nice break to kind of refocus a little bit on it. And I think maybe we'll even enjoy it a little bit more. Not to say we were burnt out or anything, because that wasn't true. We always have loved it. But like, maybe we took it for granted a little bit.
It'll feel fresh.
That we get to go to all these places, all these awesome places, and hang out with our fans and see our friends. And the fact that we haven't been able to do that for a while, like, yeah, I think we're going to be a little rusty, some of those like muscles, like the next day after that first show, like my neck is going to be so sore. And yeah, so we'll see, but can't wait to get back. And, hopefully everything's on schedule for later this year.
Absolutely. I mean, the last thing I wanted to ask you about isn't actually the music aspect of your life and your passions, but of course the lead singer syndrome. I was just wondering, do you kind of feel more comfortable as the interviewee or the interviewer? Because I find like you've had some super cool guests, you know how to steer the conversation, but then again, having you on my show multiple times between your different projects, like you're obviously super comfortable answering the questions too.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think it's definitely way easier to be the position I'm in right now.
Right.
You have the hard job, Alicia, like for sure. It's way harder to be the interviewer. Like I didn't prepare for this. I just like went out to my car for like to try to make a quiet place, and then of course my phone like battery is saying low battery, and it's got to start
Cars
over, and my car's
beeping.
beeping. Yeah, like and you know these are the things that like
Of course.
uh, you know it's I don't know as an interviewer I'm like way more cautious and stressed, but so I would say this is a treat for me when I get to do an interview where I'm being interviewed because it's nice. I don't have to worry about it as much. And I do so many podcasts. You know, I've done one a week, plus extra bonus stuff for 5 years now. I've been doing the podcast, and lately I've kind of switched it over into some video, and I'm doing them live on Twitch now. I'm loving it. I encourage everybody to follow my Twitch channel because I've had everybody from I had Jacoby from Papa Roach a couple weeks ago, Nothing Nowhere, Derek from Mayday Parade. They're all jumping on Twitch and we're doing it live. So it's been a lot of fun to do that stuff. But yeah, like it's way better just to be like, hey, Alicia's gonna call me. Hi, Alicia.
Yeah.
And now I just talk. I don't have to look at the sheet. I'm not looking through notes. I'm not like, you know, I just hang out and it's much easier.
It's really interesting to hear you answer that way because for me, I honestly prefer being the interviewer because then I can steer it. I know exactly what's coming my way. Like I like being in control in that sense. So there's no
Right.
surprises, you know what I mean? Like, and if there is one, I can usually handle them pretty well. So yeah, it's really interesting both sides.
Yeah. The thing that and I'll bring this up because I think you'll find it interesting. Maybe people watching this will too, but like I find it really like I know kind of what a good interview is because I've done so many, and I will literally like lob a comment over the plate, like over the plate for somebody to be like, all right, I'm giving you this, like ask the follow-up question.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to go deep into this really super interesting topic or subject or emotion or something. And then like they won't.
On to the
They'll
next
change the
question on the
topic.
list.
Yeah. On to the next question. It's like, oh my God, like I just set you up so hard for an awesome interview and you're actively fighting against it, you know? So I can totally see it from your perspective too, when you want it, you know, and you're like, you get off the phone and you're like, well, why didn't they ask me this? Like, I'm willing to talk. Like, you know, this is, you know, and yeah, sometimes I'm like, well, I don't just need to talk about the new song. Like, let's talk about everything if you want to, you know? So I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I'm glad we're on the same page there. And I do want to say thank you a ton for hopping on today to be the interviewee with this interviewer. It's always so lovely getting to see you, catch up, and fingers crossed later this year we'll be able to hang out and see you at one of the shows. So yeah, thank you a ton, Shane.
I know. You're still in Toronto, I assume?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. No, I really hope so, man. I like it's weird. I was talking to a buddy because I live in Windsor, so I'm right across the border from Detroit.
Right.
And I got a good friend over there, and I haven't seen him in like a year and a half. And he lives 10 miles from me because we can't cross the border. And like talking about going to a show with him and doing all that stuff, like it doesn't even seem real.
Mm-hmm.
So when this all comes back, like, yeah, Alicia, we are hanging out and partying, like going hard in Toronto. I'm getting out of Mosh retirement. We're doing it. I can't wait.
Doing it up. I'm psyched. Well, I do want to say a massive thank you to Shane for hanging out today. And for everyone watching, be sure to check out aliciaatout.com for more exclusive interviews and features, including our first few. And again, thank you so much for joining. We will see you all next time. Bye, everyone.